and welcome back on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again for my monthly TBR. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Cici and I do mostly bookish subscription box unboxings. Sometimes I do other stuff as well, and one of these things is showing you my monthly TBR. To be completely honest, yes, my TBR oftentimes is absolutely crazy, but I have set myself some prompts after last year, and I have gotten so much better in actually reaching my TBR goals. And to be honest, I'd rather have one or two more books on my TBR than reaching the end of the month and not having a book on the TBR anymore. I like having plans, so I'm just that kind of person, you know. All right, so my TBR is separated in 4 categories that I want to take you very briefly through. Let's hope it's briefly, because it's quite a few books. You can already pretty much see them in my beautiful TBR shelf behind me. I'll just tell you what prompts they're for, and if you want to know more about the books, I have started vlogging again, and I'm putting up my weekly vlogs, and you will just hear my thoughts, hear my reviews, hear what the books are about in these weekly vlogs. And I will put in the description box at the very top, and I'm trying to put them in the title when the names of the books that I'm reading. So if you're interested in a specific book, watch out for the vlogs that are coming in the next few weeks, and then just see if the name of the book is there. That's pretty much the best I can do. I just really suck at summarizing books that I have not read. I oftentimes even suck at summarizing books that I have read, so I don't want to attempt doing that. So what are the prompts that I have selected? So the first category is group reads, read-alongs, like book clubs and this kind of stuff. So I am attempting this month to read the Booksplosion book of the month, which is Cursed. I don't have that back here. I am going to be reading that on audiobook. Then for the Read, Rate, Review by Book Roast, I want to read Serpent and Dove. I wanted to read this last month, but let's be honest, last month sucked from like a reading perspective. I was so bad. I only read like 5 books, I believe, compared to the like 17 or something that I had on my TBR. So I am reading that this month. Then I'm not going to be doing any of the other read-alongs that I'm usually doing, or book clubs, either because they haven't put up the nomination for November's book yet, and it's November 1st, so it's not too late to be added, or they have a book in a series that I haven't read the series of, etc. Then I also am reading a book for the Once Upon a Book Club. If you don't know this, this is a book subscription box service that gives you a book and some wonderful gifts, and I'm just throwing them all out, but yeah, so some wonderful gifts, and they have page numbers on them. So yeah, I want to read that and know what's what. So for this, I am going to be reading Today We Go Home, and it's a mix between a veteran story, PTSD, and a civil war, a woman fighting as a man. Potentially there's a lot of things that are in this story. I'm not necessarily a big historical fiction type of person, but I'm hoping that, oh my gosh, I'm destroying everything today. I am hoping that this one might be good. So that's this one, yeah. Today We Go Home. The next category is buddy reads. And for buddy reads, I mean buddy reads that I just schedule with a certain person to read, that I am taking part in a project that's called the Traveling Book Project, where we're sending books around and people are making notes in it and sending it to the next person. And for that, I am reading Poison Study, which you can see back there, and The Magic Study, which is still on the way to my doorstep, but it should arrive soon. And for this, I also want to read Children of Blood and Bone, which I already started. It's back here because I have all these wonderful gifts still to open. We in this Goodreads group from this traveling book project, we created this. There was like the subgroup creating book boxes for each other, similar to the Once Upon a Book Club, but very much more personalized to our likings, and I think with a little bit of a higher budget than they allow themselves. And so I'm really excited. So far I have opened 3 gifts and the experience is just amazing. I have all these letters explaining things and it's amazing, and you will see this in next week's vlog. And for buddy reads, I also count the book Strange Magic, which was sent to me by the Willoughby Book Club, which is a service. Oh my god, what's going on today? I think I do have a discount code down below that you can use if you want to subscribe to that service. That service pretty much allows you to subscribe to a book service that they are sending you books, mostly paperbacks, but you can give them a prompt, you can give them your Goodreads, what you want to read, what you like to read, what you have read, and they will just pick books according to what you told them. And I gave them a very specific prompt. I wanted a book with a sassy character, similar to Spike in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I just wanted to see what they're coming up with. So I'm really hoping to see that we see these snarky, sassy characters. It's my... I don't know what's wrong with me today. It is my way of reviewing their service by giving them a very specific prompt, and so I will read that. The next category is arcs. I do have 2 NetGalley arcs. One is called Coral and one is called Die Prophezeiung des magischen Steins or something. I need to read 2 NetGalley arcs this month. I am way behind on my NetGalley. And then I have an arc right here, the How and the Why. And this I think was in a Strand subscription box. And this book is coming out in November, and that's just why I want to read it. I want to read it before it comes out, and that all obviously didn't happen last month. The last category is my monthly prompts. So in the beginning of the year, I set myself monthly prompts similar to like these readathon prompts that you might have, just to make sure I'm reading a variety of books and not just the same old, same old. So the first prompt is pick one of the oldest from your wish list, or delete 10 books from your Goodreads wish list, which I did. Then oldest from your TBR, I either pick one of the oldest that are on my TBR on Goodreads, or one book that is still on that I wanted to read last year in November and I still haven't read to this date. So this is Snow Like Ashes. This was on my TBR last year in November and I didn't finish it. I have a second book that was on my TBR in November last year, and that is Girls of Paper and Fire, and that gets my special slot. I have like 1 special slot book for the month, and that is that. The next prompt is read a new release, so a release that has been is considered new. I consider them new within a year or so, even though I usually have new releases of like the month or so. I sometimes stretch it a little bit, and for this I will be reading hopefully The Wicked Saints. Somebody wants to buy this book, so I need to get through. If you don't know this yet, I usually don't keep many of my books, and I try to sell them to kind of refund my hobby a little bit. I just keep a very, very narrow selection of very special books, and The Wicked Saints is gonna go, and the buyer is waiting. So I need to read that. I'm also quite excited to read the story, so no harm done. Then I have to read an old release, meaning one of the top 10 oldest releases on my Goodreads shelf of books that I own, and for this I will be hopefully finally reading Slaughterhouse-5. I don't know how often this has been on my TBR already. I think this has to become a read it or it has to go kind of thing. Then the next prompt is read one of the highest rated, and for this I'm going to be reading Hidden Pearl, which is again a NetGalley arc, and this is only like 116 pages book. This is about a young girl in the Second World War, and I was just intrigued by by the summary, and I'm really excited to read that quite soon. Then the next one is to read one of the top 10 lowest ratings on my Goodreads. For this, I want to read You Must Not Miss, behind me here. This was, I believe, in a Shelf Love Reads, and to be honest, I love the Shelf Love Reads, and I would be quite... It's weird to me that this is has one of the worst ratings on my shelf, because I really loved the Shelf Love Reads and I trusted their selection, so I don't know why, but I'll find out. And then we're almost through. I have to read one of the top 10 most reviewed on Goodreads. For this, I want to read Memoirs of Geisha. I want to read that in forever, but as it just always goes, you never get around doing it. So now is the time, and this will also count for a non-YA book. And then I only have 2 more prompts. One more prompt is read a different genre, for which also the Hidden Pearl will count. And the last prompt is progress in a series, and for this I will read The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Can't wait to see what happens in the Scythe arc. I'm excited for this one. I'm probably gonna see if I can get an audiobook, because I need some audiobooks for just the time when I need an audiobook. So altogether, this is 7,310 pages, which comes down to 235 pages a day, which is critically high, but doable. Because in November, I'm not traveling, as far as I know right now. So it should be doable, and I'm just gonna have to start and do it. Just do it, right? That's what I'm gonna do. So, yeah, this is my TBR. As I said, if you're interested in knowing anything more about these books, watch out for my reading vlogs, because I will be talking about these books in my vlogs. And I hope you liked what you saw. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have read any of the books that are on my TBR and if you like them or not. And I hope to see you again real soon on my channel. Until then, bye!